So why do I need de-armoring? And that's just like, well, if you like to be orgasmic, so does de-armoring makes me orgasmic? No, it doesn't make you orgasmic, but it makes you open that you can be orgasmic in an easy way. If you like to have a life that is based on ecstasy, joy, and pleasure, that is open to be in connection with what is around you in the present moment, then de-armoring will help you with that.
And then I was tuning in, like weaving that in with de-armoring. Like people are only lost and fucked up because they are disconnected from the soul, from feeling, from connection. And that's why de-armoring is important. Like if we can't feel ourselves, we can't feel the world around us, we can't feel people, we can't feel nature, we cannot be in connection. This is why we fuck things up so badly, because we're so disconnected. So de-armoring for me, it's that what I believe is the longing for humans to be in connection, but they don't know, so they search in the wrong end, basically.
And I was actually watching a podcast yesterday on YouTube. Somebody sent it. It was a really interesting conversation about AI. But what I was actually feeling into while I was watching it is this really, like this couple of years right now, it's not like in 20 years, it's like it's now. This is where the shift has to happen. Something has to give, something has to shift. And I remember, like, I started this journey when I was much younger, you know, now I'm 55. And I remember even when 2012 was like 14 years ahead or 15 years ahead, it was like, so, you know, wow, that's like in the far future. And now it's like in the far past. And I really feel like at that time, we had time to, like a couple of decades, 3 decades, 4 decades to transform ourselves, to work on ourselves, you know. And now it seems like it's right now. And for me, it ignited a sense of urgency in my own journey, in my own, like, I know I'm transforming and doing quite a lot on myself right now, but even then I feel it's not enough. I'm not fast enough. It needs to be right now. So like what people can expect from de-armoring is ignition. It's like I'm really on fire to transmit that the transformation has to happen now. Like we really need to, like you said, Sanna, we need to connect to our heart, to our body, to our purpose, to actually start doing it now, not wait another 10 years because we don't have 10 years. So for me, I guess this training in October is going to be really doing my best to just wake people up. Like whoever is there for professional, personal reasons, essentially we're all in the same boat. And my message is really like use these tools that we give you right now to wake up as fast as you can, like now. So this is what's been kind of in my presence.
And I want to add something to that. I hope that's okay, Matt. That the people I'd like to call in is really those who want to make a fucking change, who are ready to commit, who are ready to rise, who are ready to do the work, who want to do the work. It's not about like a weekend fun. It's actually the daring and the wanting to go deep within and transform. It not shallow, not being stuck in the little me. It's like, I want to go beyond this. I want to serve. I want to give my gift. I want to do it for something greater. To actually make that as a commitment and take it serious. This is what I feel. This is what I desire. This is the group. I can just imagine a group of really dedicated, amazing human beings who just like showing up for the collective, for themselves. This is what I'm
burning. This is the only thing that's burning in me right now as well. Like becoming a de-armoring practitioner, it's almost like it's out of the, like it's just not feasible right now. What is feasible to is actually for individuals to ignite whatever they carry inside, whatever the jewel, whatever the gift, whatever the, I don't know, the purpose, whatever they came here with, to actually open that up and scream and shout it into the world right now. So like, I'm right on the same page, looking for people who are like just really 100% ready to take responsibility. Like, if you're born with a purpose, now is the time. This training can actually help you touch it and ignite it.
But what I'm mostly realizing is the kind of the amount of pain that people carry in themselves, physically, emotionally, or mentally, and not even being aware of that, and the kind of substitution behavior that they do to avoid to feel that. and the kind of the waking up call out of that, and seeing what else is possible from that point that has not been reached of what is possible right now, and then kind of coming out through this spiral on the other side and saying just like, oh my God, I have known that before, I would have done that 10 years earlier. You know, this is kind of what I see again and again, where I would say to people just like, hey, if you kind of think you are already on the point where you actually live your purpose, just like, then just come along and check out what we do, then you actually really find your purpose and get that stuff off your body that is painful and is keeping you away from being your true.
That's a really great point, because there is often people coming who they work with people, but there is this tendency of the helper or the rescuer and the pleaser, or maybe just believing that I'm done or so. And it's fascinating to see, like you say, Matt, I thought about it yesterday, the amount of pain and the longings that still like are in our human hearts, you know, this never really cease to end. And not to take that for granted, that we're done, or I'm done with the work, because it never ends. You know, there are so many different levels of receiving oneself.
Yeah, you know, an important thing for me is being a practitioner for, I don't know, almost 15 years or so, is that, you know, I can only guide people as far as I've gotten myself. So where have I done my work of, you know, development, de-armoring, getting my stuff in the right kind of alignment and coming into truth with my message. And this is exactly true for everybody else who is coming to the training. It's just like sitting somewhere in a comfortable position as a practitioner and kind of being afraid of evolving through the pain points that are still happening in life. Just like it doesn't guide you anywhere. So I mean, this is the melting pot, the burning, you know, sport point to just like to show up for yourself in life and just get your shit done.
Especially now with there's another thing I reflected over, because now there's so many weekend courses, and you know, you can get a certificate for nothing basically, and people who've done, you know, inner work for a year, maybe even less, or 2 years, they start to have teachings and trainings, which kind of, I just remember it took me like 7 years before I even started to teach, because I was so like, I had this belief that I was never really ready. But it also like you say, De'an, like we can only take people as deep as we can take ourselves. And there is also I mean, the more I grow and the more I learn, the more I'm like, I respect the human psyche. I understand how much hurt and damage I can do to other people if I'm not on point and sensitive and in tuned. And it took me quite a lot of time to realize that, and how important it is to mature into the work, like working with people and doing the deep emotional work and being around people, and not being arrogant or like, I'm done, kind of.
You know, as you're talking, I'm kind of, what's present for me, it's like we talk about the armoring, but like recently I'm seeing it as authenticity work. Actually, it's just becoming more authentic, becoming more me, real me, taking the layers off that are actually inauthentic or pretending. So I feel this authenticity work really never ends. There is no end of, like, never reach the full depth of me, because that's not possible in human body, I think. So authenticity really is what seems to be, at least in this year for me, people are, not just me, but like I hear other people also beginning to talk about it, beginning to work with it, beginning to present it as a really important thing. I think integrity, authenticity, I think they're actually very similar. It's where it's at. It's like, how can I be authentically me? Stop games, stop pretending, stop fooling myself, essentially, because I can't fool other people. Other people can see us, but the ego can't see itself. So also in this training, I guess what is good having 3 of us, because 3 of us observe people from 3 different angles, and then it's quite difficult, I think, to escape, to not be seen. This authentic you will be highlighted by one of the 3 of us. And I think this is actually, just want to kind of bring it around to why I like working with you too, because I think we have different skills and different perspectives to how actually to observe people, and to point out where we see that something is being inauthentic, or something is being hidden, or some shadow is kind of taking over, or somebody's hiding. Or so I used to call it de-armoring. Now I'm beginning to call it authenticity, because that's really what it is. It's just being authentic. It's just being aligned, being in integrity with oneself. So that's what's in my head right now.
Yeah, just kind of wondering, what is it actually that we individually bring on the table that is the highest benefit for people to get out of it? And I mean, I can just I could give a brief summary about you guys, but I just want to talk about what I bring to the table for people to have the best benefit. And, the consent work in itself, people think this is so boring. Consent is just it's like asking for what you want, and then kind of where's the magic and all that kind of stuff. But this stuff goes much deeper. It goes to the roots, to the core of our individual being, who we are psychologically, emotionally, from the very, very first year of our existence. And the way how I see that, how the kind of de-armoring around consent for people not to ask for what they want, and how to express that and express their limits, and being in connection physically, emotionally with people. This is literally like an upgrade of an operating system, and as we all evolve and develop as humans, not only individually as well as a collective, just like if you just want to play the game on the bigger picture with more people, then just go the fuck and have your operation system upgrade. Otherwise, the upcoming software, how people engage with each other on an authentic, as you say, that level, you cannot operate anymore. So just go and get your upgrade, that you actually are capable of engaging with this consciousness development that is happening everywhere, and that will happen, and it will speed up even more. So and this is kind of, there's so many levels of de-armoring, even on a micro level, how to express what we want to have happen in life with other people, and bring that to the focus point of professionalism with clients and with individuals. This is a big thing. Yeah, so that's kind of my software operation system upgrade for people.
Matt 2.0.
I want to show something, because what you say, Matt, I've been into the consent. It was a game changer for me. It was actually you introducing it to me 12 years ago or something. And I have gone from life changing into boring, and then back into life importance, like how fucking important it is, and what games we play with ourselves and with each other, because we don't know how to communicate. So this transaction-based engagement all the time, like the hidden agendas, the subtle language, the expectation, the unmet and unfulfilled expectation, assumptions, like all these games. So I started I want to create an educational video about it, and I'm starting to kind of take notes with interactions that I have, and this is just from a few months now. From subtle behaviors that I realized within myself, with people around me, because it never fucking ends, and it's so important, and people don't know, and there is the belief that I'm done, or this is boring. It's yeah, but you don't know how to operate in a clear and authentic way, because there is still, it all boils down to the fear of being vulnerable. If I being clear and direct in my request, I might get whatever dismissed or rejected or whatever. So it's actually, it's like human 1.0 and human 2.0 and 3.0 and 4.0. It's really so important. Yeah.
I just wonder in which level we would put people who haven't done any work, that was just human 0.1 before they go into 1.0, before they have their upgrade into a consciousness, into kind of just okay, I can ask for what I want, and I can actually empower other people to express their needs and guide them through a practice of de-armoring. Because this is what I see so much, specifically when it comes to practitioner and facilitator in this field. Just when they actually have this language going on as a practitioner, I want you to do such and such, or I want to do such and such. The client is just unbelievable how little practitioners actually have embodied that they're actually not there for themselves, they're really there for other people, and getting the skills to really do that in a professional way. This is so needed and necessary.
Yeah. Yeah. And also,
I'm kind of also thinking, this is not only, at least I don't see it only for practitioner in terms of the training for people, because I just see it like accountants, housewives, ice cream sellers, like anybody who is human, who is alive in this time right now.
not for dearming training, you mean? You mean for the work that Matt is talking about?
No, just like, yeah, because you were referring to like in a setting of a client and a therapist, and I'm also seeing it just like human to human communication skills and just broad, like who this work is for. And I'm kind of less and less seeing it as at least the first level. When they go into the second and third and fourth and whatever level of training, then becoming practitioner, that's different. But the first level is really just like getting your ABC of being human straight. Like how to actually, like an ice cream seller can actually do so much good with all the little customers that are coming if they know how to communicate. So it's not about them, but it's about the customer. Everything that you were saying, Matt, can be applied to any number of fields, actually any field where humans are present. And this is what I'm right now seem to be more, at least for the October training, that's where my focus kind of lies, rather than beginning to train people to be practitioners. If you want to be a practitioner, do this first and then come to us afterwards, and then let's see what other training you need to do to actually start the journey or to complete the journey. But this one here in October, I really see it as like anybody who is, you'd say no.
No, because we don't take on beginners on the basic training. That's induction.
No, I'm not talking about beginners. No. Because beginners.
Maybe
so I'm going to talk about also my gift. So Matt, you were saying what's your gift? Well, what I bring to the table is authenticity, and I'm not afraid to burn in the middle and to expose myself and to process myself. And also I'm not afraid to show it to other people how to do it. So a beginner, like a total beginner, would never come to my training because they will be scared. They're not ready. They cannot take this level of authenticity or intensity. So they don't have to be, they can't be beginner in life, but they can be beginner in working with people, for example. If they're ready to actually meet themselves at a really deep, authentic level, then I say, yes, come. And they can be selling ice cream, but they're going to be selling it like from a place of like, wow, a real, authentic, deep connection to oneself and understanding of responsibility of being human. This is really my gift. It's embodying responsibility of what it means to be a human and how to live, how to conduct oneself, to support life, to support people, and not to trample on them, not to treat them like shit, basically, which is what's happening a lot. So this, I guess, is my gift. So Sanna, you can disagree, I don't know if you still do, but basically I see this first level of training anybody who is willing to really look at themselves in the mirror close up and accept the shadow and work with it. I say, yes, come, you're ready.
Not if they're complete beginners, I say no. So I say like
explain what you mean by complete beginner.
I mean that we need a certain level of maturity to even for people to be able to drop into that space and do the basic training. So we don't take on people who has not worked with themselves at all.
Oh, but this is what I said, like beginners will never come to my training because I'm talking in I terms because for me, because they'll be scared. They won't be able to take it. So in an intake conversation, when we interview them for the training, they won't pass. They won't be able to stand it, you know?
Yeah. Can I add something to that? I mean, the thing is, what you say is just totally right, and as well, this of course, this is not a beginner's training. So people need to have some skills already when it comes to, you know, how to be a body worker, how to set up a session and stuff like that, and because then they know what the trouble is and what they really work with, and how to go into people's field when they are having blockages and boundaries. But what I would like to add to that, what you said, is specifically for practitioners who come and want to add to their skill set how to do the de-armoring thing. This is so important because de-armoring is literally needed for everybody who hasn't done any work at all. And specifically, you know, there are so many people out there, more people who haven't done any work, that, you know, every de-armoring practitioner will have clients like the ice cream seller or the person on the Ica supermarket or somewhere else, that they can be a better version engaging with people, that they don't have to be so scared being, you know, in their life or what they do, or changing somebody else's life by giving them in a certain way and saying the right thing, the ice cream in their hand. So this is where the potential is, where every de-armoring practitioner working with the normal people, with the day-to-day life people, that they come into their practice and just like stepping out of their contraction of their belief system, or their emotional and physical kind of holding back pattern, into the openness of who they are. And so therefore it's a specified group of people who actually doing the de-armoring, because it's actually an art, and that's how it calls de-armoring art. You know, it's just like it's not de-armoring when practitioner want to do de-armoring. It's art when they really do de-armoring for people, and that in itself is what I think we deliver very in a profound way.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'd like to add on my piece of this magic as well. What I long for to see more in the world, and that is to just overcome our fears and all this transaction-based behavior and all this patterning upon patterning, the repatterning behaviors, like to connect with source, to connect with true power, the healthy from within, to connect with joy and life force, and, you know, more joy. Like, it's so easy for people, and it has its time, its place to do the personal development journey, but also to understand there is something so much more deeper and profound and joyful that can open our eyes to something much, much, much greater. and my desire is, and I think, or my gift is, to inspire courage in people. The courage to step out of their comfort zone into more of their greatness, takes those little steps to taste something else than the belittling mindset, the small talk, the fears, and these fucked up behaviors that we create that limit us from actually seeing life for what it is and living who we are meant to be living. Yeah. And this is like, I just want to be like a big fucking injection into that opening. And this is where I find most joy. It's like, can we just enjoy life? Enjoy it. Live.
Yeah, this is your gift, yeah.
And I really want to add something, who is it for? I would say, like, like when I hear you, De'an, and I hear you, Matt, it's like for you who are, you're like fed up with with yourself, that you know you have more to give to the world. You want to serve a greater purpose. You know you're meant for more. You want to live more. Maybe you're fed up with your patterns, with your relationships, with whatever story you tell yourself. You feel a bit stuck and you need like a reboot. And if you want to incorporate or learn de-armoring as an already existing practitioner, then this is for you. Like, I would say de-armoring, for me, the core of it is really to become more alive, like free, open, flowy, alive, communicate, authentic, with glitter on top.
No, totally resonate with that. No, definitely resonate. So actually my question was also like, what can we say to people who are coming? Let's kind of tune into, just like very briefly. So, okay, I'll start. So if you're thinking of coming, and let's say you're not a body worker and you're thinking of becoming a body worker, that's one group of people. Let's say you're not a body worker, you're never going to be a body worker, but you just want to become more, like Sana says, more activated human being. Then what you can expect is, you can expect a space of authenticity. You can expect us to be on your side. We're going to be like your best friend, like your ally on your journey towards embodying yourself fully. You can expect to be supported really fully from the heart and with a lot of experience and expertise. You can expect to be in a group of people who are all up for a similar thing. I say similar because we have slightly different angles to being human, but essentially you're going to be in a group of peers, people who are committed to becoming everything they can become in this lifetime. You can expect a space where anything is allowed. You're really allowed to be whoever you want to be. Like, you might not get it right now, but when you sit in that circle, when you actually at the end of the training, then you're going to understand what I mean by you're really allowed to be yourself in every aspect you can humanly possibly imagine. Everything is welcome, so you can expect that. I don't know, right now I'm dry, so maybe you two can fill in.
Yeah, what I would put on top of that, and this is more and more important for practitioners who want to work in that field from a place of integrity, alignment, and truth, is that they're getting a good chunk of being trauma-informed and consent-informed, because this is something that is just more and more important in a world of truth and authenticity, that you actually can say, you know, I'm a trauma-informed practitioner, I'm a consent-informed practitioner, not only on a piece of paper, but on an embodied state, neurologically, emotionally, and bring that to other people. So that's just my commitment, that everybody who's getting out of the training has at least the foundations in their body to be trauma-informed and to have combined that with consent when they work with people. This is, in my perception, a very important step.
Yeah, and deepen their trust and intuition, like to start to rely more of inner knowing together with all of that.
I mean, there's a lot more than that, because really what you can also expect is that each one of us has, I mean, decades of experience in working with people. So this will all come out as well. So you can also expect like a serious professional kind of boost of knowledge and skills.
Yeah.
And of course, we do dancing and we do all the nice stuff that people do on spiritual events.
Yeah, we connect, and we hug, and we play.
And we go to the core.
And I would say the baseline, of course, sexual healing. I mean, sexual healing work is really the fundament of this work as well, like, which makes it so profound as well.
I mean, this is also, just to mention it, this is also one of the not that many trainings that I know of in Europe that include internal de-armoring and learning how to do it in a responsible and conscious way. So that's, I guess, also good to explicitly say to people that this is what we're looking into as well.